Coach Braman, I know you're excited. You've had a really challenging indoor season, but now the ACCs ramp up, and then of course NCAAs after that. Your thoughts in general just about the team and going up to Blacksburg here?
Yeah, it's the ultimate battle. We're going into the Lion's Den when you talk about Virginia Tech. You know, they got their own facility. They've hosted about 1 million times, and they really, really know that track and that facility really well. So it's rare to come out of there with wins ever, you know. So it's going to be tough, and I think they're the dog we're chasing on the men's side. And the women's side, it's a little more balanced with 4 or 5 schools that have a chance because it's all kind of spread out. So I can't even pick a favorite. Usually Virginia Tech and Miami are 2 of the biggest players there, but it is a balancing. So we're looking at the national meet, which is 2 weeks after the ACC, and that's the bigger deal. Where are you in the nation? Are you top 10? Are you top 20? Those kind of things. And so we have to balance it. We can't have Adriaan come in and run 3 races. We can't have Trey come in and run 2 or 3 races. We can't, you know, we have to be careful. Lauren Ryan's another one, number 1 in the country. We need to give her a chance to win a national championship. Number 1 in the country with Trey, number 1 in the country with Adriaan. So we have to kind of protect them a little bit because injuries do happen, particularly during the indoor season. So huge challenge, kind of a dual thing where you're trying to get a bunch of NCAA qualifiers and get ready for the big game, but it's the ACC championship, and kind of hard to calm them down a little bit when it comes to that, particularly when we get to day 3 and the points get really tight.
Let's talk about those 3 maybe individually for a moment. Let's start with the ladies with Lauren. She does a 3,000, some of the 5,000, but what do you think her skill set is suited for those particular events? I mean, why is she so good in those?
Yeah, I mean, Lauren's very, very economical. She's very, very efficient. So she doesn't have wasted energy. She's small and fast. So she's not powering a big giant machine, you know, like a Mack truck. She's more of that smooth Jaguar, if you will. So she's finding an event indoors. 3,000 suits her really, really well because she's got good speed and she's got the good endurance. She's qualified in both, you know, 3 and 5. But we're going to run her in the mile at the conference meet, give her some speed work because the national meet she'll run just the 3,000. Then after that, she's got work. About a month later, she's got the World Championship trials down in Australia, and she'll be focusing on 5,000 meters there. So again, got to be careful with her and Maudie because they've got those trials coming. But the NCAA meet's a perfect setup for them. Again, 3 weeks after that, they'll be ready to go.
And with Adriaan, I mean, he's the cross-country experience, different distances in indoor track. How do you kind of manage his practice workload and just kind of figure out what's best for him within his calendar too?
Right, so he's now the number 2 all-time 5,000 meter collegiate runner ever indoors. So special talent, which takes special attention on my part. But no, he'll run the 5,000 at nationals, and whether we double him in the 5,000, 3,000, first of all, he'd have to qualify this weekend, which is the goal. But we want to have that out there as an opportunity because on the national meet, 5,000's first and the 3,000's the next day. So if we got to the point where we were chasing a top 4 podium finish, Adriaan would have to be escorted out of the building before he wouldn't line up and try to put points on the board. So going to be careful with that. But once indoors over, you know, the outdoor national championship is until middle of June. World championship, which he's already qualified for South Africa, that would be later in the summer, like July. So it does fit real well. The NCAA is an incredible get-ready place for Worlds and Olympics and stuff. And so I think Adriaan he's in that zone. We're not going to over-race him, but every time he gets out there, he's going to try to win.
Trey is just a fascinating guy as far as he told me years ago he thought running was boring, that he had to hurdle, he had to give himself a challenge.
Right.
It's a true sprint though for his 7 or so seconds there, I guess. But
right.
How the balance, the speed, the different elements that you have to have in that event, how is that kind of suited his skill set too?
Yeah, what Trey probably didn't tell you was he was a great athlete in high school. I mean, he really was. He would do 5 different events in Alabama high school. He a great long jumper, good sprinter, could be a long sprinter. And of course, he's an incredible hurdler because he had the high school world record for the high school distance. So, but he is that right athlete. He's gotten faster and faster in his foot speed, and he's super healthy now, which, you know, that kind of haunted him last year, and he missed his chance to win an NCAA championship. We got him back and healthy just in time for the trials, and he ends up in that unenviable 4th place spot where top 3 make the Olympic team. So now he's super healthy. Speed's never been better. And it is an explosive event, so you got to have a lot of power. But I mean, he's incredibly graceful, incredibly efficient going over the barrier. So he's got the right mix for that short hurdle event. If he were to focus on a 400 hurdle outdoors, he could be borderline world class there too. He has that kind of talent, but that is absolutely his right event to be in, the 100 hurdles outdoors. And, you know, like you said, 7 seconds, 60 hurdles indoors.